I have all my toys under my bed until I have a place to put them.
A modern podcast where Chris and Mike talk about TV, movies, superheroes, and everything in between. It's time for Superhero Slate.
Hello everyone and welcome to Superhero Slate, the show where we run down the latest superhero entertainment news.
We love TV, movies, and superheroes, so let's talk it all out.
My name is Chris Dillard.
And my name is Mike Royer.
And this week, casting starts for Cloak and Dagger.
Yep.
The Iron Fist episode information hits. That was a hit sound.
Okay.
The next Star Wars movie gets a title.
Uh-huh.
And more.
So we got another week. We got more news down the pipeline. Surprisingly, no footage this week. Usually when I'm hitting up the show notes, like I'm looking out for any footage that I need to watch before we start recording the episode. So this is kind of more like a casting, kind of like official image releases, and we got some title releases. You know, we jumped into some footage last week, so I feel like this week we're gonna be doing lots of speculating.
Yeah, I mean,
which is my favorite.
I love speculations. We got a lot of lists this week, it looks like, as well. Just kind of looking at it with the Academy Awards coming up and so on and so forth. The list filled up pretty big, and we don't really have any footage. So I'm really excited to get into it. We right before this, we were talking about pop vinyls. Go figure, right? I mean, that's my thing a little bit, and I'm curious if anyone... I know some people out there collect those as well and enjoy them, but like, what do other people enjoy, Mike? I know... Do you have any, Mike?
I mean, are you thinking like collectible wise?
Or pop vinyls in general?
Pop vinyls in general? I have like 2 pop vinyls, well, maybe technically 3 that I have received like as gifts. I have a Daryl Dixon from The Walking Dead pop vinyl. I think I don't even quite know if he's full size, just because I'm so unaware of the current size of what pop vinyls are. So it might be one of the smaller scaled ones. And then I have an even smaller one that's Spider-Man that's on a keychain. And then I have one of those weird bastard child of pop vinyls, which are like the Dorbs of a Spider-Man as well. That one looks kind of like a play school little toy. So yeah, not a whole lot of pop vinyls up in this abode.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I mean, I'm just curious what other people collect. My wife is big on the Disney princesses and the Pixar ones. I know she has Toy Story and we have a couple Inside Out ones because I like that movie. I enjoy the character Fear in that movie, and she liked Disgust, so we have those two, and so on and so forth. And my big ones are my Marvel movie collection ones, and I just didn't know if anyone else collected any and what they were, because there's so many out there.
I am sure there are people out there that are collecting them, because those pop vinyls have exploded in popularity over the last couple of years. It's been really nuts for them. Yeah. So that was something that we were talking about, and then just I guess chewing the cud, is that a phrase? Chewing the cud. I have no idea, man.
All right. Well, we're gonna go with it. So, anything else you want to add, Mike? Or you just want to grab into the news this week, man? I'm ready to get into it.
Well, I think most of the time on this show we're talking about superhero stuff, but I did get a chance to actually see a movie not related in any sort of way to the superhero franchises, which was kind of a nice change of pace. Was the wife and I saw Hidden Figures on Friday night, which if you're not familiar, anybody out there, is the movie about the African American women back in the early 60s that did all the math to send John Glenn in the orbit. That was really cool. Jim Parsons from like The Big Bang Theory's in it. Kevin Costner is kind of like the main boss at NASA. Octavia Spencer's in it. She's really good. She's like good in everything.
Cool.
But it was just a good pleasant movie. Like, obviously they're talking about race in the movie, but nothing like super depressing. Like, I'm not saying, it definitely wasn't depressing back in the 60s for race relations. Obviously it got better, which was good, but they didn't really drill too hard in it, so you felt sad in the movie. You just kind of felt like pleasant at the end of the movie. It's like, the best way I've been describing it, it's just like, you remember like back in high school when you had a substitute teacher that didn't want to teach, so they put a movie on, but the movie would kind of have to be somewhat educational. That's kind of what this movie is. It feels like a movie you'd see in class, but you'd be happy to see it. It's like, what are the good ones that they're actually showing you, not some sort of like boring PBS documentary. So if you get a chance to see Hidden Figures, check it out. I really liked it. Okay, cool.
That's a great topic we're going to be talking about later. We have some Academy Awards to talk about later. So
ooh, okay.
That's I'm glad you brought that up now. So cool.
I'm curious to see how Academy Awards dovetails into our superhero life, but I have a feeling it's going to be with the visual effects category in some way.
Yeah, it might be. I can't wait to get there with you. So first up in the news, we have some Cloak and Dagger stuff. I thought this was kind of interesting, knowing that ABC and Freeform were kind of going all out on the show. I've heard it's rumored to have a very large budget for a TV show, possibly as much as a Netflix show per episode. So I thought that was cool. And the characters Tyrone Johnson and Tandy Bowen have apparently rumoredly been cast by actor Noah Gray-Cabey. He's from Heroes, is what I remember him from. He was the kid who could control electronics with his hands in Heroes. And the actress Debby Ryan, who was on the Disney Channel show Radio Rebel.
Yeah, I'm kind of familiar with Noah. Like you said, he was the kid in Heroes. Obviously, he's all grown up now, so he doesn't look like the kid at all. Because I had to Google some pictures of him, and like the kid version of him is like really small and adorable. He has like little like curly hair sticking out, and like now he just looks like a buff dude that could probably maybe like kick some butt under a cloak. So that's about all I know from him. I never heard of Debby Ryan before, but I mean, if you check out our featured image for the show on any place that we host that, you can check it out at superheroslate.com. I kind of put the actors side by side with Cloak and Dagger right behind them, and it seems to be a good fit. So if this does indeed end up being the cast, I think it could work.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think she definitely looks like a Disney star for sure. And Noah was in the Heroes revival series that was like last year, I think, that kind of sucked.
Short-lived.
Yeah, he was in it. So I remember seeing him all grown up in that. So that's why I knew him right away. So yeah, Cloak and Dagger is okay with me. I'm actually a little more excited now than I was when they first announced it, because Freeform is known for those like tween drama shows that just don't sound very good.
I'm not trying to get my hopes up too much still, just because I feel like they're not going to totally turn away from their main demographic of the network. I think it is going to be a little teeny. It's going to be a little drama-y. But I do think there hopefully will be some hard-hitting like action stuff. So I think I'm going in with the right expectation of when the show actually ends up dropping, and hopefully I won't be too disappointed, because I mean, I'm not expecting like Netflix quality over at ABC Freeform, so yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see, but the cast looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm on board with that. And shortly after this was announced, we actually got the descriptions of the characters from a casting site. So these two kind of going together seems to line up a little bit. So the character Tara, quote unquote Tara, who is Tandy Bowen, is cast as a plucky Southern girl who grew up with everything, always full of light. Wink, wink. Then an accident took away everything. Now she's a cynic who steals from tourists to make ends meet. Life took from her, she's going to take back. So it sounds like she's more of a street urchin, kind of maybe in this one. So that's one thing. And then Travis, the Tyrone character, he was a little boy, he was fearless, and he made a mistake and it cost him dearly. So he grew up in fear, scared of a world he couldn't control. So he controlled what he could. So he's afraid, and she is dark and cynical, which I think one of those lines up with the comic book characters, but the other one doesn't. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, I don't have any problem with this. It sounds right.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's cool. I don't know. I have mixed feelings about kind of the spread or the sprawl of Marvel's TV properties. I mean, I don't know if it's... I mean, I guess it could be the best strategy. I mean, you kind of divide and conquer, hit up all the networks that you can, put TV shows on. I mean, obviously, Marvel's on ABC. They're on Netflix. They're going to be on ABC Freeform. You could kind of make the argument that they're over at FX with Legion in some aspects. So, and Disney XD too, I guess, even though it's not cinematic properties over there. So, I mean, they're definitely getting their reach for sure. So I hope it all pays off. I'm still kind of waiting for the first show of theirs maybe to just blow up and not work out. You know, maybe you could make the argument for Agent Carter, but I think critically that show was approved. So I'm not too worried about that one going down in a bad light, you know.
Yeah, totally. Also, the director, at least for the first episodes, have been found with the director Gina Prince Bythewood, and she is known from I think it was the movie The Secret Life of Bees.
Yeah, wasn't that I want to say, wasn't that a movie about a girl and a spelling bee or something? Or maybe I might just be totally making that up, but I do recall it being a film. So I guess you could maybe look at it as a good sign of taking a film director going to TV. You know, it's kind of like, you know, going from the big show to the smaller show.
Yeah, it wasn't about spelling bee. She was a beekeeper.
Well, it was going to be one of the two, right? It's either going to be spelling bee or actual bees.
Yeah. I know it's a Will Smith produced movie as well. So, but I don't know. I don't know how. I remember it. I didn't watch it, but oh well. I mean, that's fine. I mean, they're trying to get bigger names to do this, I suppose, like movie directors to work on these things. So I think I'm not hyped for Cloak and Dagger, but I feel comfortable they're at least giving it a little bit of care and attention rather than just whipping something together to get it out there. So that's my expectations set properly. So I agree with you there. Black Panther has started production as well recently this week, and Marvel released this new look at the new logo on one of the chairs here. I don't know if it's really going to be the actual logo. They still fine-tune and tweak that stuff throughout the whole production, post-production process, but I think it's cool. I think it's okay. What do you think?
Yeah, it's definitely a change up from I guess the current one that's floating around there. I don't know if it's considered official or not. I don't really know the aspect what they use, but it's kind of more like I should really be able to describe text better. But yeah, this is definitely a departure. So yeah, it looks cool though. I kind of like it. It looks more jungle themed, which is kind of what I want the whole movie to be. It's going to be really interesting if we get a Marvel movie that takes place like totally out of urban areas. I think that would be really, really, really awesome. So I hope we get that.
Yeah, I do too. The other one, the first logo they kind of gave us is kind of a regal looking theme, very like linear and you know shiny. Kind of
See, there you go. You're much better at describing this than I am.
Yeah, it looks like it's stone. Like there's black stone, like onyx stone, surrounded by gold, and you know black and gold is like the kind of the Black Panther suit. So I totally get it. This one is very, I guess, tribal, or maybe even like I guess
it's a little bit more organic. Feels a little bit like stone.
Yeah. Like someone in the wild, in the jungle, like you said, wrote this out. So
yeah, I could only assume that that's what the vibe that they're going for with that. And I mean, if they go far enough to print it on the back of production chairs, I think we're gonna get prepared for some awesome jungle brawling.
Yeah, and if you look above the chair in kind of the upper right, it looks like grass and trees back there. So definitely could be on a jungle set.
Bring it on. I want it.
Yes, the Black Panther. So with it officially kicking off production, Marvel put out a synopsis and cast list, and we talked about the guy from Sherlock. I can't remember his name.
Martin Freeman.
Martin Freeman, there we go. You just watched that more recently than I have, returning, but also the confirmation that Andy Serkis is returning to the Marvel Cinematic Universe as Ulysses Klaue.
That's pretty cool. I mean, we got a little bit of him there in Age of Ultron, so it's cool to see him come back. I mean, who doesn't love Andy Serkis? So that's amazing.
And again, he will be a person. Quentin, looking at you, buddy. I know you thought he'd be a CG Panther or something. But I think that's cool also because in Age of Ultron, they say he's been marked by the Wakanda nation because he stole all that vibranium that Ultron made his body out of. And with his hand missing, I really want to see him get the claw, the sound emitting thing from his hand that he's known for in the comic books. Again, Earth's Mightiest Heroes, one of our favorite cartoons and shows based in the Avengers, had Claw being a big villain in the Black Panther world. So I really cool to see that.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering if they're gonna go, because I mean that sound emitting claw, I guess, if people want to say it's a claw. I mean, it looks a little cheesy. It kind of just looks like a small satellite dish at the end of his nub. So I wonder if maybe they're gonna go maybe more like Iron Man, like actual mechanical hand, and it's kind of like a pulsar thing where he puts his hand up and the sound comes out of the palm. Either way, I kind of hope it's cool. I hope it's just not like a dumb satellite dish.
Yeah, I think. Well, I mean, they tend to update things pretty well, and Claw does look really stupid in the comic books. He's got a red and purple body with his little satellite hand, and I mean, Falcon in the comic books looks pretty stupid too with his red and white suit. So they definitely update him pretty well. So hopefully, knock on wood, he looks pretty good. Andy Serkis though, loved him. I loved him in Age of Ultron. One of the highlights of that movie, I think. I remember him asking about the candy thing, and I'm like, oh, that's great. Speaking of Avengers, the last one, the next movie coming out next year, Infinity War. Really hyped for Infinity War. The first day of filming has begun, and this image from the Russo brothers gives us our first look at the Infinity War trailer. Get it?
Physical trailers.
A lot of trailers. A lot of actor trailers in a row here. Could you imagine this?
I mean, just think of all the money that they had to pay for each of those actors inside each of those trailers. It's going to be, that's Disney money for you right there. That's Disney money. Yeah,
it definitely is. I think one of those trailers says Star Wagons in Star Wars fonts as well.
Yeah, that's what they got out here. I don't know when that decision was made. I'm sure it was back in the past. But yeah, the Star Wagon is something that you occasionally see out here in LA driving around. And you're always wondering, is that somebody I know in there, or is that just somebody that's just getting their start?
That's just catering services, man, for all this. So a lot of trailers, a lot of stuff, a lot of actors, big names. I saw something earlier today. Karen Gillan, who plays Nebula, is flying into America to do her part today. So a lot of Avengers people are coming to film this.
A lot of moving pieces. Now, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think as soon as we finished recording the podcast last week, you told me they just said they started filming this movie.
Exactly.
Right after we got done.
Yeah, so the best part of this was they said we got off, and I'm like, oh man, here's the official announcement that they're filming the movie and the sequel, Avengers 4, Untitled, at the same time, which blew my mind because I forgot that was still coming a year later.
I'm pretty sure the Russo brothers are this is going to be a really busy couple years for us here, so we're just going to keep it rolling and then take a nice vacation afterwards.
Yeah, so what do you think the Avengers 4, trailer or title is going to be? Or when do you think they'll give it to us?
I don't know. I mean, we're going to be talking about the title of another movie down here in a little bit, and I think I'm just really bad at titling movies, just myself, because you see it, and it's always a simple title. It's always just very straightforward. Sometimes it's creative. It's usually not a pun, but you can see kind of the different angles that the title could go with, and you're just like, I never could have thought of that. I just would overthink it too much. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, with this one being Infinity War, some theories are that the other ones are maybe Infinity Revelation, Infinity Gauntlet, Infinity Watch. I don't know if they need to go with the Infinity scheme of things, but I don't know. I'm glad they're filming both back to back, and that second one is being kept very, very secretive, which kind of, is happy for me. Another image I just added here, and you're probably taking a look at right now, is Sean Gunn, the brother of James Gunn, who we know as one of the Ravagers in Guardians of the Galaxy. I forget.
And also, I think he's the motion capture artist for Rocket, too.
He is. Is showing off some of his gear he got for filming with an Infinity War hat and it's like one of those fancy things that keeps your water cold, whatever they're called.
A mug?
A mug, but like what's like an Arctic mug or something like that? Like
what
a
are they
brand
called,
name.
Yetis or something like that? Yeah.
So, Avengers logo's in place, but the Infinity War is yellow and red. War with the red
Avengers
A. So I don't know what it's gonna be. I have no idea, but
I would think they've kept the title from that second Avengers movie from us because possibly it's a reveal. Like maybe the title itself can only be shown after everybody has seen Infinity War. I mean, that could be kind of cool. Like I've said before, I want to go to a Marvel movie and be surprised.
Yes.
Like, it was really, really cool to see that what was it, at the end of Captain America, we got the trailer for the Avengers?
Yes.
Oh, like, I'm not saying we're going to get a trailer for Infinity War Part 2 after the first one, but it would be kind of cool to maybe see the title reveal to see like, the Avengers will return in the Avengers Infinity Stone Saga Part 2. I don't know, something like that, but that would be kind of cool. I'm just looking forward to being surprised,
Yeah, I am too. I really don't want to know for as long as we can not know. And that's okay with me. So with Sean Gunn there, I don't know if he's being his Ravager self or Rocket. I'm guessing probably Rocket. That's okay with me. I don't care. It's really cool. I did see, and this is something I'm not putting in the notes because this might ruin a bunch of stuff for Mike. There is a Reddit forum that has a bunch of Marvel information, like casts that they're looking for and having, and names of characters and stuff for the next several Marvel movies. And after it was before the Black Panther announcement, and they came out and they pretty much confirmed all the Black Panther stuff beforehand. So I definitely think reading the Marvel series Infinity from like 2012, 2013 will be a good primer for the upcoming movies. So,
all right. Well, we'll leave it at that. I'm gonna try to remain blissfully ignorant.
Yeah, I'm not. It doesn't give away any stories, just characters. But I'm not gonna let you know, Mike. This is gonna keep it under my hat, if you will.
Aw, thanks, man.
Hey, you're welcome. So apparently, this filming these movies back to back is the most hellacious schedule ever made in any movie ever being filmed, because they're trying to get 40 plus characters across 2 movies, across 13 previous movies together in different parts of the world to film this. And apparently it sounds like it's pretty hellacious schedule. So I
can only imagine the spreadsheets needed to make this movie come together.
Yeah, you're going to have to, like, your list checkers are going to need list checkers to check their lists, because this is going to be huge. And it's going to be a nightmare, but I think it's going to pay off in the sweetest way possible. So,
we can only hope. It's the Marvel Cinematic Universe has had a little bit of fluctuation, not erroneously huge, but we had a little dip with Age of Ultron. We were kind of hoping for something a little better. We got a rise with Ant-Man to kind of bring us back to where we want to be, and then holy crap, hitting us over the head with Civil War, brought us back to the top. So hopefully we'll stay up there.
Yeah, totally. Avengers tend to be the bigger movies that they put a little more into. I know a lot of people don't care for Age of Ultron as much. I think it was going to be bigger. They had to shorten down the time. But, again, in Russo's we trust. So, really excited for Infinity War.
We have to trust them.
Yeah. Beyond Infinity War, we don't really know what the plan is now with the Inhumans off the table. I know they're talking Spider-Man 2, so on and so forth. But what about a Doctor Strange 2, Mike? Do you think it's a little weird we haven't heard anything on that yet?
I mean, usually we hear something almost as soon as the movie the first one comes out. Like, oh, hey, this first one did pretty good. We're going to go ahead and get the second one. I think they did that with Ant-Man, where it wasn't long before we got that announcement for the sequel.
Yeah, exactly. So the thing is from the director, Scott Derrickson of Doctor Strange, he says that the second one hasn't been announced due to Black Panther and the Infinity War films their schedule's filming back to back, that they're just focusing on all that right now and not the next set of movies just yet, because they want to bang that out first.
Yeah, well, I mean, Benedict Cumberbatch, a.k.a. Doctor Strange, he's mixed up with Thor right now in Ragnarok. We know he's going to be in that movie. I'm sure his filming's done by now for sure, but, he was busy doing that. I'm sure he's popping up in these Avengers movies in some aspect, Obviously, it has to happen, because what's the point of bringing him into the fold if he doesn't pop up in those movies? And he's a big name. I mean, Benedict Cumberbatch is one of the biggest actors in the MCU right now, I would say, kind of popularity-wise. So they're going to make sure they give him some good screen time. Yeah, I mean, it's just like, when does he have time to make another, Doctor Strange movie? So, yeah, maybe they're kind of going to wait until, what would it be? That would be like Phase 4, right?
Yeah, Phase 4. I mean, I think they're not going to give us any movie announcements for sure until Infinity War 1 is done. Because they don't want to give away who lives, who dies, maybe. Too early, so hopefully we do hear some more stuff and go from there, because I'm really anxious, but at the same time I'm like, let's live in the moment and enjoy what we have now in the Marvel world. And speaking of right now, Doctor Strange has not opened in Japan until this weekend. I did not know that.
Oh, wow. That's that's like 2 months.
Yeah, so we're a month away from the DVD release here, and it actually opened as number 1 in Japan this week, so
not surprised.
More money for Doctor Strange over there in the Asian nations. So hoping, the success of it and everything will, we'll get a sequel announcement sooner than later. I also realized I pre-ordered that steelbook for Doctor Strange from Best Buy. I didn't get the 4K version of it. Who am I? Man. So the only 4K movie I have right now is X-Men Apocalypse, and I'm kicking my own ass for that one.
You're just gonna have to go and watch that, man.
Yeah, no, I don't have to. I don't have to. You can't make me. Oh well. In the meantime, in a month and a half, we will be getting Iron Fist on Netflix.
Ooh, yes. Yes.
Really excited for some Iron Fist. Some of the information for the show is leaked, including the episode titles and the directors here, and to be honest, they give nothing away to me.
Yeah, well, I mean, honestly, I'm not surprised. I mean, yes, we can say leak, but I feel like every Netflix show, Marvel speaking, has had some sort of episode titles released before, like actually almost right around this time too. I want to say about 2 months. So I don't know if this was strategically leaked, but this is definitely not a first for a Marvel Netflix show.
I think they were pulled off the Netflix back end site, whenever you type in the right way to get into an episode or a show, it tells you the information about the show. So a couple of these are left blank. There's an unknown episode 10 and 12, so they probably didn't put those in there on purpose. But most of these look to be maybe fighting moves or stances from Iron Fist.
Yeah, it's all very. It all seems very mystical for sure. Rolling Thunder, Ken Punch, 8 Diagram, Dragon Palm. Yeah, it definitely seems like something you'd kill somebody with.
Yeah, so very, very brutal. Some of the directors, I don't know a lot of them, except I see Kevin Tankarian, or however you pronounce that. He's done stuff of Flash, The Arrow, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Mortal Kombat, the Legacy thing. So I know he's got some stuff with, choreography. So I know he'll be good for that. And it's not on here, but we have confirmation that Wu-Tang Clan member RZA directed an episode of Iron Fist.
Oh, RZA directed an episode of Iron Fist. That'll be cool. I think, I'm sure somebody out there could correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe he did the soundtrack for Kill Bill for for wow, why can't I literally just
Tarantino?
watched Quentin. That's right. Felt really bad. I was literally just watching Django last night. So yeah, that's cool that he's maybe stepping up to being directing. It's probably not his first time. I don't think they'd let a first time director step up to a Netflix show. So I'm sure he's got some credentials under his belt.
Yeah,
but I'm just spotting these two things right here for episode 7, and a little less exciting for episode 12, but still interesting. It's marked as 18 for strong bloody violence, and the other episode is 12 and up for mild violence. So looks like we're gonna be getting some bloody punches.
Yeah. So I just looked it up, and it's episode 6, the one right before the 18 one. Immortal emerges from cave is the I guess RZA, however you want to say it.
Would be RZA for sure.
Yeah, RZA directed episode, and he also he directed, wrote, and acted in the movie The Man with the Iron Fist. Ironically.
Yeah, I forgot about that movie. That was a couple years ago. I never saw it, but the trailer for that movie looked really crazy. So
yeah,
he's definitely got some style behind him.
Yeah, it was him and Eli Roth, if I remember correctly. And I know it had the name Iron Fist in it, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool. That's a Marvel character." And now he's directing an episode of Iron Fist. So
that's pretty cool. I like that.
Now we know how to get to the top, Mike. We need to create something called the Avengers, and then we can be part of the Avengers. So take a look through these, have some fun with it. Iron Fist, definitely super stoked to watch that. Comes out on my birthday, Mike. I'm thrilled. It's the best birthday present this year.
And you'll not leave the house and watch it the whole time.
Oh, man. I'm going to be doing, well, maybe. I don't know. There's something else that weekend I thought that was coming up I might have to do, but I'm going to have that all done before that Sunday. That's for sure. That's for sure. Another Netflix show I forget is even on our radar is The Punisher, man. Like, they've been filming that for months. A couple new images show a clean-shaven John Bernthal paying his respects at a funeral or a cemetery for the Punisher.
He looks so sad. He's so good at looking sad.
Yeah. I mean, he is the Punisher, man. The more I thought about it this weekend, I'm like, John Bernthal is the Punisher. Look at those boots he's wearing. Like, he's ready for combat anywhere he goes.
Yeah, he is like the perfect a character to embody the sad 1 minute and literally could kill you the next minute. Like he's like a hair trigger for sure, which I think works out pretty well with the Punisher that they've cultivated over there at Netflix.
Yeah, I definitely agree. So I'm glad that he's cast. He's still filming his stuff. He'll be coming very soon. I assume this year to Netflix because they're working on it, right? And that's something else. So I'm excited. Punisher is coming on our way.
Cool.
I know. The last bit of Marvel news we have here actually does have a trailer, Mike, and I forgot to link it. It's my problem. But
don't worry, because I saw it.
We definitely saw this. So here's our only link this week. Marvel has signed a video game deal with Square Enix, the makers of Final Fantasy, and I think there's another company in there that makes Tomb Raider. And they have signed a multiple game deal for multiple years, and we got our trailer for something called the Avengers Project this week.
Yeah, it's very much just a teaser trailer. I think there's a correct me if I'm wrong, but I think there's a narrator in it possibly, or maybe not, or there's just text saying some like kind of abstract things, and then we got kind of closes up of like the hammer and like the shield and stuff like that. Very much just announcing things. You can't really take much away from it, you know. Yeah,
very very like it seems like the Avengers are in trouble, and we don't know what kind of game it'll play. Because the other studio, Crystal Dynamics, and also the other company, Eidos Montreal, who did Deus Ex, like they've made all sorts of games, mostly RPGs though. So I'm hoping that this is like an Avengers RPG where you play as a character who has to get all these weapons and powers to help the Avengers save the day. But I am really looking forward to high quality Marvel games that I can play on my consoles.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the biggest takeaway I get from this is they're finally going to start taking Marvel games seriously. Obviously, there have been good Marvel games in the past, but I think maybe most people, they've just been playing the Lego Marvel games, which is that can't be your only developer that's making your video games. You can't just have only Lego games. They had the fighting. What was the fighting one where it's like kind of top down, running around? Avengers.
Yeah, that's my Ultimate Alliance. There we go.
There you go. I knew it started with an A. It was the Alliance. So I mean, they had those games for a while, and that works well because they have tons of characters that they can use, but. Nothing that's really tried to tie into the cinematic universe. Nothing that's really been original, I guess.
Well, they did every first Phase 1 movie, minus the Avengers, has a game for it.
But that's just like the video game movie. Yeah.
Except for Captain America, because Captain America actually plays like the Batman Arkham games, and it's really fun. So I enjoy the Captain America, but the other ones were not very fun at all.
Yeah, but I think this is maybe it's just they figured out, okay, it's time. We're doing great in film, we're doing great on TV, we're doing awesome cartoons. Let's go ahead and actually make decent video games.
And they hired a new VP of video games and virtual entertainment, and this has been like his big lead. The re-release of Ultimate Alliance and how they've been treated very well. There was a couple problems at first, but he's taken and fixed them. Very active, and this is his next one. And then the Spider-Man game with Marvel for the PlayStation 3 or 4 that's coming up as well is one of his, I guess, pet projects.
Yeah, that might be kind of telling. It's just cool to kind of see Marvel getting back into it. The one of, obviously it's been a while since I've played video games pretty hardcore, but one of the best video games experiences I've ever had in my entire life was with a Marvel game, and that was the Marvel Spider-Man movie back in the day. I think it might have been Spider-Man 1 or
2.
Spider-Man 2
was the open world in Manhattan.
Yeah, web swimming. Yeah, that one is that's an experience that you can't forget because the mechanics were just so solid. So I'd love to maybe have an experience like that again.
I definitely agree. I mean, that and just new stories that aren't tied into the movies. This one's going to be a new story, and apparently it'll be a universe that players will play for years to come. So like maybe a couple sequels and maybe a lot of post-release content for it. I know people hate on DLC, but I do enjoy a game I can pick back up 6 months later with new stuff and play some more. Even if you have to pay a little bit for it, I like it a little better. But I'm really excited. This trailer doesn't give anything away, doesn't show any gameplay footage, but I am just very excited to know Marvel's getting back into the game. So yeah, that's it from us. We're gonna switch gears a little bit. Mike, are you ready to talk Star Wars?
Oh, I'm ready to talk Star Wars.
Oh, man, not ready for the call yet. I didn't know if you were going to be ready.
I knew you were looking out for that. I'm waiting for footage.
Okay.
First official footage will get a rise out of me.
All right, first official footage will get Mike excited. But until then, Star Wars Episode 8 now has an official title that we can refer to it as. And Mike, what is that title?
The Last Jedi. Man, what an awesome name.
Man.
I mean, the news kind of came out of nowhere, too. Obviously, we should have expected the title soon. I mean, the movie comes out this year. I mean, we're less than 12 months away for the movie, so it should have a title, right?
Yes.
So it dropped on, I think, Monday morning. And then, so you just kind of wake up getting ready to head into the office, and you see that it has a title. And, man, it just really nails it. It's such an awesome title, The Last Jedi. What do you think, man?
So, yeah, I agree with you. I think it's cool. So, a couple things about this. The Jedi could be plural. So, it may not be exactly a single Jedi. It could be the last several Jedi. Also, the Star Wars font is in red. And we've only seen this red in 2 other movies before, Mike. Do you know which 2?
Wasn't the... Revenge of the Sith?
Correct.
Was that one of them?
Revenge of the Sith.
And I don't know what the other one was.
Return of the Jedi was also in red.
Oh, I see.
I don't know what that means. But in both of those movies, Anakin Skywalker died. So
maybe that's just an analog for blood right there when we see it in red. I think pairing. I mean, officially announcing the title along with a red Star Wars logo, and plus with kind of a more morose title like The Last Jedi, kind of a very definitive statement. It definitely seems we're going to be getting darker with this movie. So I could look at it kind of both ways. My biggest hope for the next Star Wars movie is that it's going to be a departure from just kind of cloning Empire Strikes Back or cloning A New Hope. Because, The Force Awakens was amazing, but, it pretty much was another Death Star, another hero rising up, destroying a Death Star. So you can argue whether that was necessary for bringing this franchise back or whatever. But I just want this next movie to be a standalone, own story, unique, different trials and tribulations. So I hope maybe that's what this lends to. But some people have said, like, oh, well, if it's going to be a darker tone, that's kind of what happened in Empire. Things went darker, so... It would be silly if they just start the movie on an ice planet. I don't think that's going to happen, but I'm still stoked with this movie.
Oh yeah, I'm really hyped on this one. The last one, The Force Awakens, is I like it, but it's not my favorite Star Wars. I think there's a lot of hope here. They got people reinvigorated with the last one, and now they can go tell their new stories and give us all the answers to the questions we have. And The Last Jedi also reminds me of the quote that Yoda did say in The Empire Strikes Back. He's like, or maybe it was Return. He's like, when gone am I, the last of the Jedi you will be, to Luke. So I think this is going to be, the title says it's very Luke focused. This is a very Luke focused, so we're going to get a lot of him. Hopefully he doesn't die. Please God, don't let Luke die in this one. But we'll definitely have to see as it goes on. I just want to see who Emperor Snoke is, or Grand Leader Snoke. I want to know who that guy is.
Well, didn't you see the screenshot earlier this week of he has that gash in his forehead? It's that stormtrooper that hit his head on the door in the movie. That's the rumor going around.
Oh my gosh, Stop that right now. Don't.
Well, maybe you'll get some answers next week, because there's also another rumor that we're going to be getting a teaser trailer at the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, the Super Bowl. I didn't include much Super Bowl news in here because I know that DC is not taking anything to the Super Bowl. But Marvel is, and which Marvel / Disney is, and which Marvel movie do you think would have a Super Bowl spot? Guardians, Spider-Man, or Thor?
Man, I don't know. Wouldn't it just be amazing if it was all of them? I mean, that's just I think that's asking for a little too much. But I mean, really, the February is such an odd, not an odd month as in we're not getting any awesome movies in February because, hey, we got Deadpool in February. But it is far enough out from summer and the end of the year to where it's kind of prime for promoting stuff in the summer or maybe towards the end of the year. So I feel like it could be any of these movies. We haven't seen anything from Thor yet at all, and that movie comes out later this year,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it comes out when Justice League does, and Justice League gave us a teaser last year. And so my thing is, D23 is also this year. So Marvel might not go to San Diego Comic-Con with new trailer footage. We've been wrong before. Hopefully we're wrong again. But if anything, I would say I remember the moment and where I was when the first Avengers movie's Super Bowl trailer hit. And I remember when the Star Wars Force Awakens Super Bowl trailer hit. And I think Super Bowl will be great to do both of them. Star Wars and Guardians this year.
Yeah, well, I think that's a good point to say that next week on the podcast, we're going to be doing a normal news episode, so you can catch that. We're going to call that part 1, and then we're going to hop on these mics again as soon as the big game is over, and we're going to talk about all the trailers and our favorite commercials, and that'll be part 2. So just make sure you're subscribed to the podcast, and you won't miss any of those.
Yes, I'm actually hosting a Super Bowl party at our apartment for the first time, so I can run upstairs and record right away.
Kick everybody out. I got shit to do, people. Get out of here.
No, they can stay downstairs. I got my own little office, my own little recording place where I get to sit in here alone and talk to Mike. So it's
all
cool.
Right. Let's do it.
A trailer we probably won't get at the Super Bowl, however, is one for Logan, because we just got the last one last week. And we got our last poster, if you will, for the movie. And it's a very... gritty, maybe grungy
it's
poster. I don't know.
I think intense is the best way to put it. I mean, it's like you can't get any more of Hugh Jackman's face on this poster, and you got some of his claws down there in the corner. He's got a little bit of a bloodshot eye, scars all over his face. Just buckle up and get ready. It's gonna get vicious.
It's very contrasty and like. My hope is for this movie that they release a black and white version like they did for Mad Max Fury Road.
Oh, that's an interesting idea.
Almost all of the screenshots they've released have been in black and white. So if they do a black and white version, I'd pony up and watch it.
We all know you would pony up and watch
it. I would. But this last poster is pretty cool. The movie is officially rated R, finally. We didn't think it wouldn't be, but they never said until... last week, so
now it's embroidered on the movie poster now, so it's there forever.
It's there. They can't take it back. No take backsies. And I also found out in the trailer last week we saw comic books, X-Men comic books, and a lot of people kind of looked into those. Like, what are these? Are these real books that exist in our world, or are these fake books? Apparently, these books were created to exist in the X-Men movie universe specifically.
Oh, that's cool.
I think Marvel's chief creative officer Joe Quesada did one of them, and they hopefully they release them as like maybe tie-ins or promotions later.
I mean, I could see that. I mean, obviously this Logan movie has set in the future, so there's time that has happened in between like last time we saw Logan and this time. So yeah, I think it makes sense. Throw some interesting stories in there. Obviously, they're all grandized. Because it's a comic book, so pretty cool though.
Yeah, I'd take a look at it. I might see what they say. So yeah, maybe they'll release them with the home release. Who knows? So there we go. So now you know those comic books don't exist. You can't go buy them yet. Keyword is yet. The X-Men series also got its official order from Fox for a pilot. So that's coming, and Bryan Singer is going to direct this pilot episode.
I mean, I don't know. I'm really conflicted about the X-Men universe right now, and when it's going into the TV universe, I don't really know what to think because they haven't really told us what to think yet. We don't know where this is supposed to be set. If we're supposed to care where it's set. Who's going to be in it? Is there going to be any carryover characters? Is it all brand new? What's the point if it's all brand new? Are you just kind of dissolving anything that's been done in the movie universe? I don't know. I'm just gonna take it one step at a time and see if I like Legion.
Yeah. So this series to me has a Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. vibe. It's a spinoff. It will acknowledge the movies. The movies will not acknowledge it. It's directed by the director of the last two movies. It's very Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. had a rocky start. I don't know if the X-Men can afford to have a rocky start. They got to come out swinging and go with it. So I knock on wood, man, that it comes out great. I'm looking forward to Legion probably more than anything else right now. So
well, it's because we know about it.
Yeah.
We know more about it. We've seen footage of it. It looks really cool. There's some cool people involved with it. So
yeah,
I mean, Bryan Singer, you've done some good stuff, but you've done some not so good things. So your name isn't exactly indicative of trust.
You're not inspiring us very well. So. Oh, well. That's it for X-Men. Now we're going to go back to the Academy Awards. I put this kind of in the middle here because you'll see why here in a second. So the Academy Awards are coming up in a couple weeks, and the official nominations and considerations have been released. And for the best films, I just want to go over the best films, which I think is the biggest award, right? Include the movies Arrival, Fences, Hacksaw Ridge, Hell or High Water, Hidden Figures, La La Land, Lion, Manchester by Sea, and Moonlight. How many of those have you seen, Mike?
Let's see here. 1, 2, 3. I've seen 3, which is usually more than I usually see. I usually don't see a whole lot of the best films because I'm usually caught up watching television or Marvel movies. But it looks like we kind of got a dog in the fight maybe there for best film with Arrival. Awesome science fiction movie that I think fits our aesthetics pretty well of what we like to watch. And so yeah, maybe we can hope for that. Surprise, surprise, Deadpool's not nominated for best film. I'm not delusional, but it would be kind of funny to see if it would have been in there, but that didn't happen.
Yeah, so it definitely would have been. So I've only seen one of these best film pictures so far. I usually don't go out of my way to see them until well after the fact, so I can watch them on my own terms and not being shoved down my throat that these are supposed to be good movies. So I've seen Arrival, and I agree. That's great to see a science fiction movie up there, actually. So that's awesome to see. But we don't really get any comic book superhero movies until we get to what you said earlier. Visual FX was one category. And Doctor Strange, The Jungle Book, the movie Mike thought would suck at one point in time. Kubo and the Two Strings, and Rogue One, a Star Wars story, are all contenders in the visual effects category. Of these five movies, including Deepwater Horizon, Mike, which one would you say had the best visual effects?
Man, well, obviously I hadn't seen Deepwater Horizon. I don't really know how much visual effects you can pack into that type of movie, so I don't really know if that's going to win. It'd be kind of weird if it did, just because I don't think there'd be a whole lot of momentum behind it.
A lot of fire effects, wouldn't it? Like that'd be
it. Yeah, I mean, Doctor Strange was really trippy. It was really cool. They did a good job bringing Ditko's stuff to life. I mean, I could see maybe the Jungle Book from the point of view of making everything look pretty real, and the only actual physical person in the movie was the kid. Kubo and the Two Strings was just an art form that was amazingly beautiful. Wasn't the hugest fan. Wasn't the hugest fan of the movie. Huge. But just trying to work that in there somehow. It's not working. But it was technically beautiful. So I don't know. I would kind of hope Kubo wins it.
Okay. Yeah, I would say I think the Jungle Book will win it purely on how much of that movie had to be done as such to feel real. But Doctor Strange was probably the most original of all these. I think I saw. So my vote's for Doctor Strange. No surprise there.
Of course.
Yeah, no surprise.
Surprise.
Also, a DC film got a nomination, and Deadpool got nothing. Suicide Squad is nominated under the Best Hair and Makeup category.
All right. I mean, I don't care.
Right? So, okay. That's it. There we go. Suicide Squad was in there. I don't know. I just had to put that in there because it was there.
Good luck to you. I don't know if maybe it's for the dumb Joker tattoo on his head. I think just on principle, if they get the award, I want to personally revoke it because someone decided to put that dumb tattoo on his forehead.
Yeah. There's a lot of. I don't know who else was in that category, but someone else should probably win it. We'll keep you guys posted on that when it comes out. The Justice League is still happening, and again, I'm very excited for it. I know I might be the only person on this show who's excited for it sometimes, but we have a new image of the team, 4 members of the team, staring at something that we don't see just yet, as is tradition, but we get to see Batman, the Flash, Cyborg, and Wonder Woman all together here in this high-res image. And as Mike points out, what do you think Cyborg looks like again?
I mean, it's not an original thought. People have been saying it, but he still looks very much like a graphics card. And some people will reply saying, well, what do you think he should look like? I don't know. Maybe not so much like that.
Yeah, he's almost a Terminator at this point. But I think, honestly, for what he does supposed to do, I think it fits him, I guess. The glowing red's cool, and Wonder Woman, I mean, it's very, a contrasty image, kind of dulled colors as his tradition, but Batman's not wearing his tactical armored suit. This looks like one of his regular bat suits.
Yeah.
With lots of pouches.
You know why images like this, they just don't grab me, Chris?
Because it's an Empire image?
No, it's just because I feel like the team up just hasn't really been earned yet. Mm-hmm. Obviously DC decided to go a different route and kind of just jump right into these team up movies and kind of, I guess maybe even saved us the years of the build up movies and kind of mimicking Marvel's formula exactly, which is fine. There's no issue with that. I like that they kind of did things a little differently, but there's just less impact when I see the team of 4 up here on the screen. I mean, we've only had a couple movies. We've already seen Batman and Wonder Woman fighting together. We actually got to see the Flash moving around in Suicide Squad fighting Captain Boomerang. So we've seen him visually on screen, already. So I just feel like when you put them all in the image together, they want us to go, oh wow, wow, it's the Justice League right there on screen. But like, we haven't really gotten to know any of these people that much, but we've had a chance to see them, So it just kind of seems weird putting them together. Like, it seems like maybe they're waiting to drop an image where Superman's there too, and then it's really gonna feel like the Justice League. But it's been unfortunate that the speed up schedule that they've taken for these movies, everything just feels a little less earned. And obviously it doesn't help that the movies haven't been very good. So I hope maybe I can look back at this image and be like, oh wow, that was a really cool scene when they were all together. But yeah, as of right now, I just can't get excited yet.
That's cool. I totally understand. And that's one of the benefits. I watched this video essay, I guess, the other day, of why Marvel movies work and the DC characters don't work, because they don't have any character arcs or characterization in their films. And that's why, Civil War and Avengers works, because you've learned to care about the characters, and you've seen their arcs from movie to movie and in their movies themselves. And by the point we get to Civil War, we care about the characters, right? We know who they are and why they work. So I definitely agree that Justice League, they've not quite earned it yet, but it's their way, and maybe it'll work out great for them. So I'm really excited for the Flash.
I honestly hope they get there.
Yeah.
I want an awesome Justice League movie.
Yeah, I'm really excited for the Justice League. However, things that don't get me excited for this are this bit of news on the Flash, and that there is a page 1 rewrite scheduled for this movie, Mike.
Ooh.
That is a total rewrite from top to bottom. And this is on its 4th director, at least. And the author of this movie is Joby Harold, who wrote the shit movie called Awake, with Hayden Christensen, where he is awake under anesthesia. But he's also writing the new King Arthur movie that's coming out this year, with done by Guy Ritchie.
That's not. I mean, the only hope I think that movie has might be Guy Ritchie, because the trailers do not look very good.
Yeah, and so that's the future of the Flash, and it probably won't make us July 2018 release date. Looking at previous movies, how they film them and edit them for DC movies. So
I mean, what do we even think here? I feel like there's two ways you can think about it, because as we have done in the past couple weeks, we've talked about how we have been praising Ben Affleck for kind of, taking a step back from the Batman movie, or maybe taking it a little bit slower, waiting until he gets a script he really, really likes, So that's good. He's being patient, waiting for a good story. So maybe this could be a good thing. Maybe the Flash movie, the script they had was just not good enough, and they know they've been putting out crap movies. And they're like, we got to put out something good. Rewrite this script. It is not good. It is bad. We can't we can't film this. It's not going to be good. No one's going to like it. So maybe this is something that they should have done with Batman vs. Superman. Maybe it should have had a top to bottom rewrite. So I'll try to remain optimistic. I will try, because we love The Flash.
Yeah, we do, and I'm really excited to see the Flash in the movie, and if it takes a little bit longer, that's fine with me. But I think they need to go ahead and address that on their release schedule, so it doesn't look worse whenever they move it closer to the date, kind of deal. So we don't get a Gambit scenario, because everything else parallels the Gambit a little bit, to be honest. Sadly, so hopefully to see some good news from there. Oh well. On the last bit of news, 3 other bits of news here we got for the end of the show, Mike. Godzilla 2 is coming. We can't avoid it. Michael Dougherty, director of Krampus and the Trick or Treat movies, is to direct this. So,
I liked Krampus, though. Krampus was awesome, so this does get me excited.
Horror films are there, and the actress Millie Bobby Brown from Stranger Things, I think she plays 11, it will star in the movie as well.
Ooh, that's cool. it is unfortunate that I didn't get a chance to watch that first Godzilla movie that came out like 2 years ago. Before the criticism came out. I feel like now I have no wind in my sails to try to see it, just because everyone's kind of picked it apart, said it's slow. You know, I know when one of the characters dies pretty early, he should have been in the movie longer. So I don't know. I feel like there's just a lot of swirling negativity around that movie, and I wish I would have saw it before I heard all of that. So I still feel like I need to see it though, because they're trying to team it up with Team Kong. King Kong, if you will, but
wow.
Yeah, maybe I'll have to see that.
Yeah, no, I think it's an okay movie. It's very much like the older Godzilla movies, and not much like the '99 one. So it's not bad. So don't let them get you down too much. So that's good to know they're working on that. The Predator movie has another actor who's played a Marvel character before, Thomas Jane, one of the Punishers, will join the reboot of the franchise of the Predator as an actor. So that's cool with me.
He's pretty badass. We saw him in that Dirty Laundry short where he roughed up some dudes, so maybe we'll get to see him rough up a Predator.
I did enjoy him. I think, wasn't Ron Perlman in that as well?
Yeah, he was. Ron Perlman.
Yeah, man. So Thomas Jane, I enjoy Thomas Jane's Punisher. It's not a good Punisher in comparison to the comic books, but it's a good movie for that character, so I enjoyed watching that one. Lastly, Tomb Raider comic book or video game movies that aren't meant to succeed has started filming on the reboot with Alicia Vikander as the role, and I believe she was in the movie, the robot movie where I can't remember.
What was it? Not Elysium. That's not it.
No. She was. It's recently, and she's like the android, and the guy falls.
Ex Machina.
Ex Machina. There it is.
Yeah.
And it's got two guys from Star Wars in it. That's why I couldn't think of it. So, and I think she was also might have been in the Jason Bourne movie, but that movie is very forgettable as well. So I don't know. I don't have any hopes for Tomb Raider, but I'm not really down on it either, because I mean, Tomb Raider is kind of like a female Indiana Jones kind of thing. So
I mean, we'll just have to see if anybody can crank out a good video game movie. I don't know.
Yeah, it's very, very, very unlikely at this point in time. Oh, we're so sad. So sad. As for the news, Mike, that's all I got for you today. You got anything else you want to add?
No, I mean, that was pretty. That's a pretty busy week. Like, I think I say this probably every other week, but I'm always impressed that there's enough stuff out there to talk about for an hour, and we could probably just elaborate even more on this stuff, and we could be here all day. So I'm just glad that we got through it, man.
Yeah,
good stuff.
Yeah, I'm glad we got through too. I mean, I'm really. It's one of these great weeks where we don't really talk about anything all week, and then we get here, and then it's just you and me talking for the first time, and that's the best kind of stuff. So, thanks for being here.
Aw,
so
you're so sweet.
I try. People want to know what you're doing, Mike. They want to follow you and your artsy things that you do. Where can they do that at?
Well, I'm pretty artsy-fartsy over at Mike Royer Design on Twitter and Instagram, and you can read my webcomics at pickledcomics.com. Chris, you're finally shooting with that drone, which makes me really excited. So if people want to check out some of that drone footage, where can they find that?
You can find me on Twitter at Valdan, VALDAN. I'll post everything I do with the drone there. I did some stuff yesterday, really excited. Flew it over water for the first time. Talk about nerves, man, nerves. So that did some of that, and then any new pop vinyls I get, I'll be putting up there as well, so you can check those out.
All right, love that.
Yeah. Where else can people find more about Superhero Slate? I love talking about the show, man. I like getting new listeners and talking about the show with other people. Where can they find us at?
Well, as always, you can please visit our website at superheroslate.com. That is the best place to find all the avenues we host the show and all the precious show notes that we put up for you guys every week, so you don't have to hunt down this news at a bunch of different locations. So you can find us on iTunes, YouTube, Google Play Music, Clown Sloud.
Wow.
SoundCloud, Stitcher, It's Been a Morning, Tumblr. You can subscribe and get us right in your email inbox. You can like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram, and you can pick up Superhero Slate t-shirts over at our TeePublic store at superheroslate.com/store. So you can check all that out on the website. If you're a fan of the show, please consider leaving us a review, liking, commenting, subscribing, wherever you guys are ingesting the show. We really love that. We love getting the feedback. If you're a super fan of the show, if you like this stuff, share the show with a friend, share the show with a buddy, and we will be here every week. And not only that, we'll be here twice next week.
Yes, one of those one of those shows that's going to throw off my numbering scheme for the rest of the year because I'm like, oh, we should have 107 episodes. No, we already have 108. I don't know. So I love it. I'm really excited. If you guys, I might live tweet along with the Super Bowl commercials. So we might talk about that next week, how we're gonna handle that. So I don't know. Either way, good talking to you, Mike. Great news. Great news. All right,
man.
So we'll see you guys next week.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks for listening, and don't forget to subscribe.
The life of people who think things are cool, and then they're like, what the hell have I done? Hindsighters is what I will call it.